Hello and welcome back to Don't Gaming. In today's video, we're stepping into the dark world of Fatal Frame, Crimson Butterfly, a Japanese horror classic. The Fatal Frame series, also known as Project Zero, was developed and published by Koei Tecmo. First released in 2001 as a PlayStation 2 exclusive, the series now includes 5 main titles, with Crimson Butterfly launching as the second installment in 2003. The franchise was hugely popular throughout the 2000s, but gradually faded from the spotlight until the early 2020s, when it returned through remasters. Most recently, a remake of Crimson Butterfly. Set in 1980s Japan, the Fatal Frame games revolve around failed ancient rituals and hostile supernatural forces. The protagonist of Crimson Butterfly is a teenage girl named Mio and Mayu, who becomes trapped in the haunted Minakami village alongside her twin sister, Mayu. Their journey slowly uncovers the village's buried horrors. The story begins by a stream where Mio and Mayu used to play as children. Mio checks on Mayu's leg. She had broken it years ago after falling from a cliff. Suddenly, Mayu starts following a crimson butterfly deeper into the forest. Mio calls out to her, but Mayu doesn't respond. Panicking, Mio chases after her, shouting her name again and again. When Mio finally touches Mayu, a vision flashes. Mayu vanishes. Mio finds herself alone in the forest, night having fallen without warning. Following a narrow path, she discovers a torii gate leading to a shrine surrounded by stone pillars, and Mayu is standing there. When Mayu turns around, countless red butterflies erupt from the ground and fill the sky. She realizes that below the mountain lies Minakami Village, a place said to have vanished after a mysterious ritual, visible only to those lost deep within the forest. The sisters make their way to a house in the village that still has lights on. Inside, they quickly realize it's long abandoned. As they explore, they sense something watching them. Mio discovers an old camera. The moment she touches it, she sees a memory of a man explaining that this camera can capture things invisible to the naked eye. No sooner does she step outside the room than a ghost attacks, strangling Mayu. Mio frantically photographs the spirit until it dissipates. Realizing the village is far from safe, the sisters decide to leave. While searching for an exit, they find the journal of a woman who was once trapped there as well. Soon after, another ghost appears. Mio defeats it, but collapses. In her dream, she sees Mayu once again following a crimson butterfly. When Mio wakes, Mayu is gone. From the hallway above, she spots her sister and calls out. Mayu looks back, apologizes softly, then opens a door and disappears outside. Confused and worried, Mio pursues her through the silent, haunted streets. She sees Mayu following the spirit of a woman, but a massive gate blocks Mio's path. While searching for another way, Mio encounters a pale young man with white hair. He introduces himself as Itsuki and seems to recognize her, though he calls her by a different name. He speaks of a ritual that is about to begin. When Mio asks how to open the gate, Itsuki realizes why it's sealed. It closes once the twin pair has been fully assembled. The keys are hidden somewhere in the village, and the crimson butterflies will guide Mio to them. She follows the crimson butterflies to the first key, but before Mio can retrieve it, a ghost appears to stop her. Using the camera obscura, she fights back and obtains the first key. Continuing to follow the red butterflies, Mio arrives at a shrine covered in paper talismans. There, she finds the second key. Returning to the gate and using both keys, she gains access to a large mansion. The resentment within this place is so overwhelming that her flashlight stops working entirely. Passing through a vast hall, Mio sees the corpses of villagers scattered everywhere. Standing in the center is a girl in white, smiling with disturbing madness. Behind her looms a grotesque, vengeful spirit. The spirit begins chasing Mio, forcing her to flee deeper into the house. After escaping, Mio finds Mayu unconscious in a small room. When Mayu awakens, she says someone has been calling her back to perform a ritual. Mio reassures her, promising they will never be separated and will leave together. But not long after, they are separated again by a massive stone gate. Mio decides to search for the key, while Mayu desperately begs her not to leave. Though she wants to stay, Mio knows finding the key is their only chance to escape. Mio returns to Itsuki, who tells her where the stone gate key is hidden and urges the sisters to leave the village as soon as possible. Following the butterflies once more, Mio descends into an underground area and obtains the key, but encounters blind guardian spirits that react violently to sound. When she returns, Mayu is gone. Using the camera to trace her sister's presence, Mio discovers Mayu locked inside a room, murmuring to herself. Soon after, Mio finds Itsuki's diary, which reveals a hidden corridor beneath the shrine, the only passage connecting the village to the outside world. Suddenly, the woman in white approaches from the hallway behind her, but when the door opens, Mio is shocked to see Mayu instead. The sisters are reunited and decide to escape together. Back in Itsuki's room, a vision reveals the truth. Itsuki is also a ghost. According to his final notes, Mio and Mayu must collect several pinwheel crests scattered throughout the village to break the seal on the exit. The search is arduous. The vengeful spirits grow more numerous and dangerous. After gathering the crests and lifting the seal, Mayu is suddenly seized by the village's spirits and dragged away. Mio pursues her deep underground, where Mayu stands waiting at the edge of a vast abyss. Mayu says the hellish abyss is screaming. The time of atonement is about to begin. She apologizes for dragging Mio into this fate and insists she must fix everything alone. But Mio refuses. Together, they leap into the darkness below. With the power of their sisterly bond, the twins receive help from the spirits. The curse is finally released. Crimson butterflies rise from the abyss, purifying and freeing the trapped souls of the village. Mio and Mayu are also saved from the depths. When they awaken, they find themselves back at the stream where everything began. Sitting side by side, they realize that their connection can never truly be broken. Normally, the video would end here, but let's go a bit deeper to better understand the game's story. As you've seen, the entire narrative takes place in Minakami Village. Since ancient times, beneath the land where the village was built lay a vast abyss believed to be a gateway to the underworld. The villagers both feared and revered it, believing it was the source of their prosperity as well as their disasters. Whenever earthquakes or calamities struck, they performed a blood ritual to appease the abyss. This ritual required a pair of twins. One twin had to kill the other. The villagers believed twins were originally a single powerful soul split into two bodies. By completing the ritual, the soul would reunite, creating immense spiritual power capable of calming the abyss for many years. Over the centuries, many twin pairs were sacrificed. However, the game focuses on three in particular. The first pair is Akane and Azumi, daughters of a doll maker named Yashitatsu. As twins, they were chosen for the ritual, and Akane was forced to kill Azumi. Overcome with guilt, Akane fell into deep despair. To comfort her, Yashitatsu created a doll in Azumi's likeness. But the doll was eventually possessed by a vengeful spirit. Realizing the danger, Yashitatsu planned to throw it into the abyss. Yet he couldn't bring himself to destroy something that looked so much like his lost daughter. His hesitation cost him his life, as the doll strangled him to death. The second pair is Itsuki and Mitsuki of the influential Tachibana family. Along with their younger sister Chitose, they were prominent figures in the village. Itsuki was forced to kill Mitsuki during the ritual, leaving him psychologically shattered. His hair even turned white from trauma. Determined to prevent another tragedy, Itsuki later tried to help the next twin pair escape, Yei and Zei of the Kurosawa family, with whom he was close. And after everything he had gone through, Itsuki did not want the twin sisters Yei and Zei to suffer the same fate. Therefore, he devised a plan to help them escape from the village. He contacted a friend from outside the village, Ryoso, who arrived alongside researcher Sejiro, the original owner of the special camera Mio uses. Itsuki wanted Ryoso to come to the village and take Yei and Zei away from this place. On the day of the ceremony, only Yei and Ryoso escaped. Zei was captured. Itsuki was imprisoned for interfering with the ritual and eventually took his own life. Returning to the village's blood ritual. After discovering that Yei had escaped, the villagers were forced to perform an alternative sacrifice to temporarily appease the abyss. They captured the researcher Sejiro, tortured him as part of a ritual, and then cast him into the abyss. With no remaining twin pair to replace Yei and Zei, the villagers ultimately decided to carry out the ritual using Sei alone. She was hanged by the villagers, and her body was thrown into the abyss as well. At that moment, the vengeful spirits of Seijuro and Essie rose from the depths to exact their revenge. A massive surge of malevolent energy engulfed and cursed the entire village of Minakami. This catastrophic event later became known as the Repentance. After the curse was unleashed, the village vanished from the real world, trapped in a void of endless night. From then on, only those who became lost deep in the forest could stumble into it, giving rise to legends of a haunted, cursed village. A century later, the twin sisters Mio and Mayu appeared near the stream outside the village. Zei's spirit lured Mayu inside, hoping to complete the unfinished ritual at last, setting the events of the game in motion. And that concludes the story summary, along with a deeper explanation of the lore behind Fatal Frame, Crimson Butterfly. What do you think of this tragic tale? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Don't Gaming, and I'll see you in the next video.